welcome to Rotted Reviews, and today I want to talk about a show that I watched just last week in anticipation and to tide me over until Midnight Mass came out, the Netflix show Squid Game. Alright, so here's the deal. I want to talk about this in a fair amount of depth. I want to talk about it in a way where I don't have to watch my words for spoilers. So here's what I'm going to do, is this video is going to be spoiler-free and frankly, rather short. If you haven't seen the show yet and you kind of want a general idea of it and what my thoughts are on it, this is the video for you. I am also going to be doing a deep dive where I can kind of discuss a lot more of the finer points about what worked for me and what didn't on this show. All right, so available on Netflix right now, season 1 of Squid Game from Korea. The general gist of this is a series of childlike competitions, kids games as it were, only with life and death circumstances. People that are in debt or otherwise unable to achieve any kind of financial freedom, they're in with loan sharks, they have people knocking on their door constantly, are presented with a very unique opportunity. Hey, come and play this game. If you win all 6 games, then you go and walk away with a ton of money. And the thing that they're not told that they find out about at the first game is by losing, you lose more than just the game. You also lose your life. I'm not really spoiling anything by saying that. It's in the trailer. It's just generally the premise of the show. I've heard people make references to MXC and Deadly Consequences. That's not entirely inaccurate. But it is a lot more nuanced than that and a lot more character focused. Principally, we follow the main character of Sung-gi-hoon, who is a 47-year-old chauffeur that is very, I wouldn't say down on his luck, but honestly makes his own bad luck. He makes a lot of poor choices. He has a little daughter who is not in his custody. She lives with her biological mom and her stepdad. Sung-gi-hoon lives with his mom, and he's constantly taking advantage of her. When there's any kind of money to be acquired, he usually wastes it by gambling. Just a lot of poor choices that puts him in a position of needing a fair amount of cash, which is a perfect target for these games. And once he decides that he wants to go ahead and sign up, he follows the procedures, he gives them a call, he arranges a time for a minivan to come pick him up, and as soon as it does, it gasses him, and when he wakes up, he is wearing a tracksuit with the number 456 on it, along with 455 other people in the room. Everybody has their own number, and he just happens to be last. Nobody really thinks a whole lot of it. It just kind of is a weird circumstance. They all sign the contract, and then they begin the game of red light, green light. Unfortunately, anybody that's caught in the red light while still moving finds themselves gunned down. As the show progresses, it follows other characters and their interactions with Gi-hoon as they kind of form alliances and try to anticipate what the next games are. And there's just a lot of interpersonal relationship dynamics going on. So overall, even though this was only 9 episodes long, I found this to be very dense storytelling. It does drag in places, but they fit a whole lot in here. And for such a simplistic premise, they actually managed to flesh out a lot of complexity. I really did feel for a lot of these characters, and watching them go through this gauntlet was heartbreaking in its own way. And it was interesting to watch the games unfold, as there's clearly a sadistic tone to them, but there's also a very strong sense of fair play. It's kind of an interesting level of duality that made things more than just Machiavellian evil, which was be a little bit, well, following along those simplistic storylines. Again, simplistic premise, thoughtful execution. I wholeheartedly recommend this. This was a fantastic watch. I loved almost every minute of it. Not everything about it worked for me, but I will cover that in the spoilery talk. But even so, I do recommend it. This was a great, great show. And if you already have Netflix, devote yourself to the 9 episodes. I strongly encourage it. So thank you very much for watching. I look forward to seeing you on the spoilery talk. If you're not afraid to get into that level of discussion, or if you've already seen the show, remember, next time you want to watch a horror movie or show, make sure that it's good and rotted.